Rajya Sabha election. Now voting for 11 Rajya Sabha seats across Bihar, Haryana and Odisha is being done, with counting set to begin shortly and results expected later in the evening. The polls are marked by intense political maneuvering and allegations of cross-voting. In Bihar, all 202 NDA MLAs cast their votes, while 4 Mahagathbandhan legislators did not vote, leaving the opposition tally at 37 and putting the NDA's fifth candidate Shivesh Kumar in a strong position. Tensions were also visible in Odisha, where a scuffle broke out between BJD and BJP MLAs during voting, even as cross-voting allegations surfaced. Earlier, the election saw resort-style political precautions, with opposition MLAs moved to hotels amid fears of poaching and bribery attempts. Let's now go across to Himanshu Bhatt, political analyst, who's joining me in this discussion. Yeah, Himanshu, thanks very much for joining us. The allegations of cross-voting are particularly strong in Bihar and Odisha. How do you think the Election Commission should be prepared to deal with it?
Well, these allegations will go on. But then, it's very simple. When the people are absent, what do you do? They are not casting their vote. What do you do? Because see, in this political spectrum, especially when it comes to Rajya Sabha elections, see, Lok Sabha, it's a different kettle of fish. When you talk of state assemblies, it's a different thing altogether, where people directly cast their votes. But in Rajya Sabha, when an elected representative casts their votes, and it is counted, as you yourself gave the figures, in Bihar, 202 NDA MLAs casted their votes, but 4 Mahagathbandhan people were absent. Now, the numbers will definitely get disturbed. And people will say, some will say this is done with purpose, some say it was not done with purpose. But then, at the end of the day, in such situations, which you will see everywhere, everywhere, every state which goes to poll and which has a, tug of war type of a thing for one last seat. And in Bihar, you are going to see that. See, it's a question of prestige as far as the ruling dispensation is concerned. Whereas opposition wants to show that whatever left they have, that is intact. Now, how will they show that? How will they project that? And that projection comes only by the voting for the Rajya Sabha seat. It's trying to show to the masses, to the people, to the political spectrums that these are what the things which will decide basically which party stands where in which state. And when you are talking about 11 seats of Bihar, Haryana and Odisha, you refer to 2. One you said in Bihar, second one you said BJD and BJP members were seen fighting. How do you not know that was a Nura Kushti? In Odisha, I do expect that BJP and BJD, both of them will want that nobody but for them should win.
All
so
right.
they will not want anyone who is a bit supported by the Congress people. Congress has a very small strength there. So, these things do get reflected. So, at times you will see Nura Kushti also, at times you will see cross-voting also, and at times you will see a genuine absentees also. But generally what happens is, when there is a tussle for a single seat, it is generally the ruling party of that state, which manages to win that, because of their greater strength in numbers. So here the strength in numbers get verified in this Rajya Sabha elections of this time. Yes, back to you.
All right, sure. I'm also joined in by senior journalist Bipin Sharma here. Bipin Sharma, how significant is the risk of horse trading now? We're also already seeing allegations of cross-voting. Is horse trading now likely?
Well, you see, as far as allegations, counter allegations are concerned, so they are a usual feature of the elections, which are the festival of democracy. So nothing new as such, because if you lose an election, then it is very easy to pass the blame buck on either the EVM, or say the elections were rigged, or there was booth capturing, and you see the administration was not working efficiently. So all these allegations are not new. But then, as far as these Rajya Sabha elections are concerned, they hold immense significance. Reason being that it will be a shot in the arm for either the ruling dispensation if they manage to, win these elections, because 26 members have been elected unopposed. So now it's a fight for the 11 seats. Now, very crucial, because it will definitely give a big boost. And because let us not forget that 5 seats from Bihar, then 2 from Haryana, 4 from Odisha. So in such a scenario, because let us bear in mind that if the ruling dispensation, that means the NDA, manages to win these elections, so then it will definitely be a big shot in the arm, because then it will also ensure that there will be no deadlocks, and then of course matter of political prestige. And also not to forget that if some members have lost the Lok Sabha elections, then there is all the chance in the world that you can choose your candidates and then nominate them for Rajya Sabha. So that is another very strong possibility. And also for passing ordinary the bills and certain important which are of paramount significance, then you don't need the support. So all these factors, when they are taken into consideration, they indicate that yes, Rajya Sabha elections have their own significance. And as far as financial bills are concerned, then definitely a different scenario altogether. But the dependency on the opposition is drastically reduced if the NDA manages to win the elections.
All right, Himanshu, but I want to come back to you on the question of Bihar and Odisha once again. How much do you think regional players like JDU are going to play a role, even BJD for that matter? And could the decision tilt in the favor of the NDA?
It could play a very crucial role. It is going to play a very crucial role. See, you must remember one thing, and in this Rajya Sabha election in Bihar, you are having the Chief Minister Nitish Kumar fighting for a Rajya Sabha seat. Now that means there has been something earmarked for Nitish Kumar. Nitish Kumar could be X, Y, Z in the future once he goes to the Rajya Sabha. Now when he goes to the Rajya Sabha, and when you see the number strength in a 282 house or 242 house of Bihar, when you have such a huge number, you are expected to win every seat. But then opposition is fragmented, and NDA and parties like JDU will take full toll of it. The full toll of opposition will be taken in Bihar. So I will not be surprised that JDU benefits totally, and the 5th candidate of NDA comes through in Bihar. As far as the BJD and BJP tussle is concerned in Odisha, see, it's something like this. You must also remember one thing, that Biju Janata Dal was never in opposition to BJP till they were separate also. Now it's a different thing that BJP is ruling that, and BJD has come into the opposition. But then these two parties have a past connection, and that will play out in Rajya Sabha. So I will not be, there again, I will not be surprised that if there is some sort of a cross voting somewhere down the line, and you have ruling dispensation winning all seats, I'll not be surprised at all, because in half an hour we'll know exactly what's happening. But as far as Bihar is concerned, I'm quite sure that opposition will not be allowed to win even a single seat in Bihar, because they do not muster, or they do not have the strength in the state assembly to win a candidate. Simple as that.
All right, the NDA is expected to gain an edge in these elections, but which states do you think are going to play the most crucial role?
It could be Haryana. Haryana, there was a huge tussle for those 2 seats. And that's why, this resort politics, which actually started from Gujarat some 20 years ago.
Yeah.
The first time resort politics started from Gujarat, and then, Congress still continues that. And you are having that, in Rajya Sabha election also being displayed. But then when you see this northern states, smaller states, be it Himachal Pradesh, be it Uttarakhand, be it Haryana, relatively smaller states, what I'm saying. And that is where this, crossing over in a cross-voting phenomenon has been taking place very regularly in last 5-10 years. If you see the political history, you will understand that it's been the smaller state where the people from certain political parties have been cross-voting. Because, see, it's something like this. When a political party loses its significance in an assembly election by, being reduced to what they were into pieces, and after that, some of them who win and come, they spend enormous amounts. So let's be brutal. Let's be brutal and talk about that. When someone wins an election, he spends enormous amount of money and resources there. So naturally, when his party doesn't win or his party is not in favor, not in the ruling dispensation, that person wants to get back what he wants. And in such a case, when such elections come, this horse trading, the word, it has got so much of significance. In Hindi, they call it vyavhar. And that happens everywhere. Let me not beat around the bush and tell, see, let's accept the facts which are there. So in such a situation, I'll not be surprised that Haryana also some sort of horse trading takes place. Because there again, it's come down to the egos and prestige of certain families.
All right.